I'm nervous. I'm excited. What's up, y'all? One second, guys. 1 second. Okay, so I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous, guys. I've been waiting for this moment this whole life, my whole life. I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl? I need patience over here. Hold on. How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are we ready to change the next 8 years? Because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8 years. Thank you. All right. Vice President Kamala Harris, thank you for having me. I do not take lightly the call to show up, the call to speak up, the call to deliver a message that's been on my heart for a hot minute now. Now, I took my time writing this speech, so I'm gonna make sure I deliver it right. Because I got something I've been wanting to say for a long time. I've been saying it on Twitter, on my Instagram, and I'm ready to tell it to you now. Y'all ready to listen? All right, now. All right. Just like Kamala Harris, I too have been the underdog. I've been underestimated. My success belittled and discredited. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Women have to work 10 times harder, perform 10 times better, and still people question us how we got to the top. They be like, how she got there? Hold on, let me warm up. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I can't stand a bully. But just like Kamala, I always stand up to one. All the time, I'm ready for them. Yeah. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I wasn't gonna vote this year. I wasn't. But Kamala Harris joining the race, she changed my mind completely. I did not have faith on any candidates until she joined the race and said the things that I wanted to hear, that I want to see next in this country. All right? I believe in every word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate, she's compassionate, she shows empathy, and most of all, she is not delusional. Yeah. Kamala recognized that this country is at risk, that the economy needs to get stronger, that the cost of food and the cost of living is too high. Damn, it's even high for me. I believe her when she says, under her, buying eggs and milk won't break the bank, because she's gonna pass a ban on price gouging on groceries. And she told me that in my face, so she better not lie to me in my face. Yeah. I believe her when she says she will make housing more affordable by providing Americans with $25,000 in down payment assistance. Yeah, hold on. I got more. Yeah, she's promising a lot. And I believe her when she says she will provide a tax cut to 100 million middle-class Americans. That's a lot of Americans. And that includes $6,000 for parents in the first year of child's life. Y'all remember when they used to do that? Y'all remember when this country used to do that? Yeah. And speaking of healthcare, let's talk about it. Let's talk about healthcare. Did you hear what Donald Trump said the other day? Y'all heard what he said? All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me drink my water. Yeah, stay hydrated. He said he's gonna protect women whether they like it or not. He said he's gonna protect women whether they like it or not. I'm repeating it. Donnie Dunk, please. Protection for women, especially if we're talking about maternal and mental health care, is in telling them what to do with their bodies. It's supporting them and giving them the care they need for what they choose to do with their bodies. I don't play that. People like Donald Trump don't believe women deserve rights. And when those rights are taken away, they are nowhere to be found. When a mother's going through postpartum, he's not there to hold her hand. When a child is in foster care or in a shelter because their mother is not mentally stable or financially stable to take care of them, they're not there. The people outside planning, they're not there. They're all gone. Those people outside Planned Parenthood, screaming at women's faces, they don't be there when women go through stuff. They don't. And everything is possible. Shout out to the single moms out there, but it's hard. Trump says he's going to protect women whether they like it or not. Well, if his definition of protection is not the freedom of choice, if his definition of protection is making sure our daughters have fewer rights than our mothers, then I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. We all knew Trump was a hustler. But hustling women, and I'm a hustler too, yeah. But hustling women out of their rights to their body is nasty work. Hustling Americans out of their hard-earned money by selling Trump watches, Trump sneakers, and Trump Bibles. By the way, the watches is $100,000. Yeah. Made in China, another country he discredited, is nasty too. Let me ask you a question. Wait, is Milwaukee in the building? Is Wisconsin in the building? Yeah. Let me ask you this question. Do we really trust this man with our economy? Our economy! A man who cares only about making himself rich and cutting taxes for his billionaire friends. I don't even get a tax cut. Today is your wallet. Tomorrow, he'll be conning you out of your healthcare rights. And that's a fact. I want you to hear that again. Today, he's hustling you with buy my sneakers. Tomorrow is going to be your healthcare rights. He's going to take it away from you. He's going to snatch it. Donald Trump talks about how he has a concept of a plan, but America, the only concept of a plan he has is a plan to hustle you. Yeah. Because we know what he's really setting us for. He's selling more than watches and sneakers. He's selling us bigotry, misogyny, division, chaos, and confusion. He wants us to hate each other. And it's gonna cost you your money, equal opportunity, affordable health care, and any rights you thought you had for your body. He gonna take it from you. Listen to me. He gonna take it. Thank you, I love you too. I'm not giving Donald Trump a second chance. Nope. I'm not taking any chances with my future, and I damn sure and taking no chances with the future of my children. All three of them. All three the chance. Yeah. I'm with Kamala. I believe in her. In America, I believe in you to turn out on Tuesday. Turn out and turn up on Tuesday. Turn the page and let's win this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage elementary school teacher Adrian Culver. Give him a bigger shout out. I want to hear you. I want to hear you. Give him a bigger shout out.
How y'all doing, Milwaukee? Well, my name is Adrian Culver. I'm 23 years old. I was born and raised here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm so proud to be here today welcoming President Kamala Harris as our great city, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Like me, Vice President Kamala Harris grew up and was raised by a single mother. And also like me, Vice President Kamala Harris is doing what she can to make the world a better place. That's it. Thank you. Yes. Here in Milwaukee, I work as an educational assistant for third grade students and mentor kids all around the city. Thank you. Thank you. I spend nearly all my day and all my time with kids, and I know just how important it is making the right decision for our future and for all of us. Vice President Harris represents a new generation of leadership that's going to protect our fundamental freedoms, create more opportunities, good jobs, and make it easier for people like me to afford groceries, health care, and even one day, my own house. Donald Trump is running to enact his extreme and dangerous Project 2025 agenda, a plan that would eliminate the U.S. Department of Education. Thumbs down to that. Gutting the system that's going to set up kids like the students I mentor for success. He also wants to implement a Trump sales tax that will cost middle-class families an average of $4,000 per year while giving tax breaks to the rich. To everyone who's here with us today, and everyone that may be tuning in at home, know that your vote is your voice. This week, we have a chance to use our voices to elect Kamala as the President of the United States. Donald Trump and his extreme agenda are not right for Milwaukee, not right for Wisconsin, and not right for America. Now is the time to make your voices heard and vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. Now let's give a big Milwaukee welcome to the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
And we will win. Oh, it's good to be back in Wisconsin and to be with so many leaders. I thank everyone here for taking the time out of your busy lives to be here this evening. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. And can we please hear for Tammy Baldwin? Let's re-elect her to the United States Senate. Executive Crowley, Mayor Johnson, Cardi B, let's give it up. And can we hear it again for MC Lights, O'Milly, Glorilla, Keegan Michael Key? Oh, what a good night. All right, we got work to do in Milwaukee. Okay, 4 days left. 4 days left in the most consequential election of our lifetime, and we still have work to do. But here's the thing about all of us, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. And make no mistake, we will win. We will win. And here's one of the reasons why. Because when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for. And in this election, we have an opportunity to finally turn the page on a decade of Donald Trump trying to keep us divided and afraid of each other. We are done with it. We are exhausted with it. We are turning the page. And it's because we know that's what he's about. He is constantly about trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. But that's not who we are. That's who he is. That is not who we are. And it is time for a new generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next president of the United States. And Wisconsin, you know me. I'm not afraid of tough fights, obviously. For decades as a prosecutor and the top law enforcement officer of the biggest state, I won fights. I won fights against the big banks who were ripping off homeowners. I won fights against for-profit colleges that were scamming veterans and students. I won fights against predators who abused women and children. I won fights against cartels that trafficked in guns and drugs and human beings. And I pledge to you, if you give me the chance to fight on your behalf, there is nothing that will stand in my way as I fight for you. And look, we know who Donald Trump is. This is not someone who is thinking about how to make your life better. This is someone who is increasingly unstable, obsessed with revenge. He is consumed with grievance, and the man is out for unchecked power. And look, in less than 90 days, it's either going to be him or me in the Oval Office. Let's let's get the word out to the folks who are not here to just have them imagine. You know, we've all seen the Oval Office on TV. Imagine on January 20th, that day, it's either going to be Donald Trump, if he is elected, which he will not be, but to help people imagine what the stakes are, it's either going to be him there on day one, walking into that office, stewing over his enemies list, or when I am elected, walking in on your behalf with my to-do list. And I'm a hard worker. And at the top of my list is bringing down the cost of living for you. That will be my focus every single day as president. I will give a middle-class tax cut to over 100 million Americans. I will enact the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging on groceries. And I will fight to make sure that hardworking Americans can actually afford a place to live. If you are caring for an elderly parent, if you are in the sandwich generation, caring for an elderly parent and young children, I will tell you my plan will cover the cost of home care under Medicare. Because I took care of my mother when she was sick. And I know what you are doing, whether it be trying to cook something that they feel like eating, whether it be trying to help them put on a sweater, trying to find a moment where you can bring a smile to their face or make them laugh. That work is about dignity. That work is about dignity. And I'm going to make sure you have the support and they have the support they deserve. My plan will lower the cost of childcare. Again, it's about dignity. It's about seeing the strains and the pressures. We will cut taxes for small businesses because our small businesses are the backbone of America's economy. Where are our small business owners? Let me see our small business owners. And we will lower health care costs, because here's where I come from on that. Look, I believe access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. Dignity, values about the dignity of each of us, and the responsibility of real leaders to, unlike my opponent, not think that the measure of their strength is based on who you beat down, but the true measure of strength of a leader based on who you lift up. And then you got Donald Trump, who... And his answer to the financial pressures you face is the same as it was the last time: another $1 trillion in tax cuts for billionaires and the biggest corporations. And this time he will pay for it with a 20% national sales tax on everything you buy that is imported: clothes, foods, toys, cell phones. A Trump sales tax that would cost the average American family, the economists have measured it, more than $4,000 more a year. And on top of that, Donald Trump is still trying and still wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, which would throw millions of Americans off their health insurance and take us back to when insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions. You remember what that was like? Well, we are not going back. We are not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. No. Because just like Wisconsin's motto tells us, we will move forward. Yes, we will. I love Wisconsin. And ours is a fight for the future, and it is a fight for freedom. Like the fundamental freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government telling her what to do. And we all remember how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. They did as he intended, and now in America, 1 in 3 women lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban. Many, and the harm we've seen. Many of those laws with no exception even for rape or incest, which is immoral. And he's not done. He would ban abortion nationwide. Yes, even here in Wisconsin. Even here in Wisconsin, it would be impacted. And he would restrict access to birth control, put IVF treatments at risk, and force, get this, and force states to monitor women's pregnancies. Just Google Project 2025. Just look at it. And everyone here I know understands, and let us agree, one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to simply agree the government shouldn't be telling her what to do. Not the government. Not the government. Not the government. Not some people up in a state legislature, and certainly not Donald Trump. And I pledge to you, when Congress, together with Tammy's help, when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom nationwide, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. Proudly. So, Wisconsin. So, Wisconsin, I am asking for your vote. I am asking for your vote. And here is my pledge to you. As president, I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to the challenges you face. I am not looking to score political points. I am looking to make progress. And I pledge to listen to those who will be impacted by the decisions I make. I pledge to listen to experts, to listen to people who disagree with me. Because you see, unlike Donald Trump, I don't believe that people who disagree with me are the enemy. He wants to put them in jail. I'll give them a seat at the table. That's what real leadership is about. That's what strong leadership is about. And I pledge to always put country above party and self, and to be a president for all Americans. All Americans. So that is my pledge much to you, Wisconsin, and now I ask you a question. Who here has already voted? And now I ask you to please talk to your friends and your family and your neighbors and share your perspective on why this election is so important. And for you who have not voted yet, no judgment. Let me just be clear, no judgment at all. But do get to it if you can. And for those who have not yet voted, please think about right now your plan for voting. And think about where and when you will vote. And if you live here in Milwaukee, remember you can vote early now through Sunday, November 3rd. And go to iwillvote.com for all the information you need, including when and where you can vote and where to drop off your absentee ballot, because we need everyone in Wisconsin to vote. You are going to make the difference in this election. You will make the difference. You will make the difference. So listen, it all comes down to this. We are here together because we love our country. We love our country. We love our country. And when you love something, you fight for it. You fight for it. And I do believe it is one of the highest forms of patriotism, of our expression for our love of our country, to then fight for the ideals of our country and to fight to realize the promise of America. That's what this is about. And I have always believed in our nation's promise because I've lived it. You know, I grew up a child of the civil rights movement. My parents would take me to marches when I was in a stroller. And there were, at those marches, we all know, people from every walk of life coming together to fight for freedom and to fight for opportunity. You know, growing up, I saw how hard my mother worked to raise her two daughters to have the same chances that our country gave her. And I was blessed to have family by blood and family by love, right? Who instilled in me a sense of community and compassion and faith. And I've spent my life fighting for people who have been hurt and counted out, but who never stopped believing in our country that anything is possible. I have lived the promise of America. And today, I see the promise of America in everyone who is here, in all of you, in all of us. We are the promise of America. We are the promise of America. It's the fathers and mothers and grandparents who work hard every day for their children's future, in the women who refuse to accept a future without reproductive freedom, and the men who support them. It's in the Republicans who never voted for a Democrat before, but put the Constitution of the United States above party. I see the promise of America in all the young leaders that I see right now who are voting for the very first time. Raise your hand. I love Gen Z. About you guys. You are rightly impatient for change. I love that about you. I love that about you. You are determined to live free from gun violence. You are going to take on the climate crisis. You are going to shape the world you inherit. I know that. I know that. And here's the thing about our young leaders. None of this is theoretical for them. None of this is political for them. It's their lived experience. It's your lived experience. And I see your power. I see your power, and I am so proud of you. Can we please hear it for our first-time voters? Can we please? Yeah. And those who will be first-time voters. You know, the future of our country is so bright. We just have to see it. It's so bright. So listen, we got 4 days to get this thing done. 4 days. No one can sit on the sidelines. So let's spend the next 4 days so that when we look back on these days, we have no regrets about what we could have done. Let's know we did everything we could do. So let's knock on doors, let's text, let's call, let's reach out to family and friends and classmates and neighbors and coworkers. And here's a request that I have in that process. And while we are doing all of that, let's please be intentional about building community. Let's please be intentional about building community. You know, there's something about this whole Trump era, and it's made people feel like they have to. It's been powered by this idea that Americans should be pointing their fingers at each other. You know, and to make people feel alone and make people feel small. When we all know that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. So let's be intentional about building community and building coalitions. There is strength and power in that will be long-lasting. And finally, I'll say, just remember, and let's remind everybody we know, your vote is your voice, and your voice is your power. That's your power. In a democracy, that is a power that is yours. Don't let anyone take it from you. Don't let anyone take it from you. So Wisconsin, today I ask you, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you.
Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy. Did you see Nancy Pelosi is selling out Biden now? Did you see? She turned on him like a dog. Well, I don't know if he should continue. All of a sudden, where did that come from? She was 100%. All of a sudden, she's not sure. Not sure means he's gone. But no, she's crazy as a bed bug. She's a crazy person. I believe we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. I believe that. And I believe that Michigan is going to have the greatest of all of any of the states, because I'm going to bring back your auto industry. I'm not going to take this. You know, in Mexico, they're building among the largest plants for auto manufacturing anywhere in the world. In Mexico, near the border, they think that they're going to make cars and sell them into the United States and lose all our jobs. It's not happening. And you know who owns those plants? China! China owns them. And we're not letting it happen. We'll put 200% tariffs on, 400, I don't care what would. Whoever is building your plants, we're not allowing any of those cars to come into the United States, okay? We're telling that to Mexico right now. You want to build those plants? A friend of mine who builds plants, that's all he can do. He's a great guy, but his strength is plants. If you say walk across the street, he's not that good at it. But to build a plant, he has no problem. He builds great auto plants. I said, I'd like to see one. Take me. He goes, well, we'll have to go to Mexico. I said, what about the United States? No, not so much. He goes, they're actually some of the biggest in the world being built right now in Mexico. I said, this happened over the last couple of years with this stupid president that we have. Stupid. He's a stupid person. And I can say it because, once he weaponized justice, I would never talk about a president like that. Once he weaponized justice against me, I said, oh, wow, that's really incredible. That's never been done before. I can do it. And I'm knocking him out. But sometimes you have crooked judges. We have some real crooked judges, too. That's the only way. The only way I can lose is crooked judges, but we'll get it overturned, anything that happens. But once he weaponized, I wouldn't talk that way. In fact, before this happened, before he did this, I treated him not nicely, but I treated him with far more respect than I do right now. It's one of those things. But we can't let these companies come in and steal our wealth, steal our jobs, destroy our companies, and end up building it 10 miles across the border and think we're going to allow them to get away with it. We're not. They have to build it over here, and they have to use our people. So and it's going to happen. And Michigan will benefit more than any state in the union because they stole your auto industry, and we're going to bring it back, and it's going to be at a level that it was in its height. Okay? You hear that, John James? You hear that? I'm going to put John James in charge. And the amazing thing, it's not even hard to do. It's not even hard. It's so crazy. If you want to build something in China, you're building it here and you send it over there. We don't want it. They'll charge you like 250% tariff. We don't want it. Then you get an invite. Build your plant over here. So these companies, they go over there. Harley-Davidson did it in India. They couldn't sell. They had a 200% tariff on motorbikes. I had them in the office in the White House, the Oval Office, and the head of Harley-Davidson. I was disappointed in that, actually. We were talking about it. I was telling them the problems, and I was going to help them out. But I said, how are you doing in India? No good. Why? We have a 200% tariff. In other words, if we sell a bike, they have like this massive tariff. And I said, well, if you have a 200% tariff, that means you're not going to be able to sell any. But they invited them over to build a plant, and Harley-Davidson went, and I guess they're building the plant or built it or something. But that's what they do. I don't blame India. I blame us for allowing it to happen. It's not going to happen anymore. I had it stopped, and then we had the COVID fight. We had to fight COVID. We did a great job. We never got the credit. We got credit for military. We got credit for everything. I defeated ISIS. We did unbelievable things. Unbelievable. We got the biggest tax cut in history, the biggest regulation cuts in history. When I go to the companies, the big companies, highly sophisticated, I said, so I got you the biggest tax cuts in history, and that was good for jobs. And I got you the biggest regulation cuts in history, and that was good for jobs. If you could only have one, would you take the regulation cuts or the tax cuts? Every single person, and I must have asked the question 200 times over the years, said the regulation cuts were more important than the tax cuts. Can you believe it? You wouldn't think that. But we got you the biggest regulation cuts in history. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after we win the presidency, we win. We're going to all win.